So I'm in Payson, Arizona right now, and I am spending the night here on Sunday night as I make my way to Gallup, New Mexico. It was just a bit far for me to drive to Gallup, but it's kind of interesting. We're on a plateau, so we're at a higher elevation, about 3,000 feet, and so there's lots of pine trees here in Arizona. Not my first time that I've seen pine trees in Arizona, but it's the first time on this trip. And so I just thought it was kind of interesting. Thought I'd take just a moment for those of you following me along here to see what I'm seeing. I'm going to I'm going to do laundry tonight, and then I'm going to head from here to Gallup, New Mexico tomorrow morning. Well, today is Monday, the 31st of January, 2022, and we're just getting ready to pull out of Payson, Arizona here in kind of the northeastern part of Arizona, heading towards headed towards Gallup, New Mexico, and should be about a 3 to 4 hour ride. It's about 10:30 on Monday morning, and it's going to be kind of just a road, not a highway on a lot of it, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes, but hopefully it goes fine. So stay tuned. Well, good morning and greetings from Gallup, New Mexico. This is Tuesday, the 1st of February, 2022. It's our first day here in Gallup. Got about 15 minutes before 7 o'clock Pacific time, so I'm walking the dog, and just thought I'd take a minute to give you a quick view of what we're looking at. Got a nice little dog park here, or dog run area I should say, so that dogs can go off leash and take care of what they need to take care of. And there's also an area out past that wall there that I can take Remi to throw the ball for. So that's what we'll do with her at lunch. Just going to work today through Friday, and then this weekend going to go check out, it's going to be a full weekend. Four Corners National Monument, the Petrified Forest, and the Painted Desert, followed by another place. But going to try and cram four sightseeing destinations into a 2-day weekend, so it'll be a lot of driving. But it turns out that Gallup's going to be a good base of operations to kind of go do some sightseeing here in New Mexico, so I'm looking forward to it. Now I remember what the other destination was, Choco Canyon. And for those of you who know me from Sacramento, how could I forget the word Choco? Spent 10 years volunteering for Choco Pit Bull Rescue and Advocacy. So at any rate, looking forward to seeing Choco Canyon and seeing what that's all about. And so it's going to be a good weekend, and we're supposed to have some cold weather here this week, but we'll just go with the flow and figure it out. Well, it's about 5 o'clock on Monday evening here at the USA RV Park in Gallup, New Mexico, and it's a nice quiet little park here, well maintained, and lots of nice amenities. The showers and the restrooms and laundry room are all very nice. They've got camping cabins over there. They've got a little kids play area over there. So very nicely set up. Got a dog park. We're supposed to have snow tonight, from 2 to 4 inches. We're at about 5,000 plus feet here in Gallup, New Mexico, so it's going to be interesting to see what it's like. It's supposed to get down into the single digits tonight, so it could be a little on the chilly side. I've got the water hose put away so that it doesn't freeze. I've got plenty of fresh water in the fresh water tank, so we're good to go. So we'll see what it looks like tomorrow. This is a little adjacent property from the park. Apparently they own about 100 yards out from this, but you can bring your dogs out here to run, and so it'll be interesting to see what it looks like tomorrow if we get some snow. Well, good morning. It's about 6:45 Pacific time on Wednesday, the 2nd of February, 2022, in Gallup, New Mexico, and it's snowing. It's a light snow right now, and we're not supposed to get super hammered here in Gallup, about 2 to 4 inches, which we've had more than that in Wairika. But it's going to be the bitter cold that comes after that. We're going to get down into the single digits the next couple of nights, so it should be interesting. We'll check the snow totals here a little later in the day. Well, as you can see, it's just about 1 o'clock Pacific time, and here in Gallup, New Mexico, it is snowing. And you'll also notice that the outside air temperature is 24 degrees. The weather here recently in Gallup has been fairly warm, so the snow's not sticking on the ground all that much, especially on the roadbed. But yeah, it's pretty chilly here in the middle of the day, and it's supposed to get down into the single digits tonight. So I've got the hoses all put away so that nothing turns into ice. Well, good morning, campers. And it's 9:43 in the morning, and it's 15 degrees out. At 6 a.m. when I got up this morning, it was 0. Well, despite the fact that it got down to 0 last night and we had some precipitation, we didn't have a lot, as you can see. Didn't even have an inch here in Gallup. So yeah, we're just out. It's about 12:30, and we're just out for a little walk with Remi to let her get out of the motorhome for a little bit. She was pretty stir crazy last night because we were staying in. And right now it's only like 24 degrees out, and that's going to be the high for the day. So we're appreciating it while we can. Well, hi there. So one of the problems I ran into was I had no water this morning, and that's because it got so freaking cold last night. There was a number of contributing factors, but the main one was the fact that I didn't have the thermostat set right inside. The space heaters inside were keeping the furnace from kicking on, and because the furnace wasn't kicking on, it wasn't keeping the wet bay warm. And so the pipes all froze. So that was a bit of a drag. But, and the reason it froze was because what airflow was coming in from the sewer hose area, and it was just cold air. And so it froze everything inside. I used the space heater from inside the motorhome to thaw out the water pump and the water lines from the fresh water tank. And everything's back working now. So we're good to go for tomorrow and the rest of the week here in Gallup, New Mexico. It was a little scary there for a minute. I was not sure what was going to happen, but we're all good to go now. Well, good morning, and today is Saturday, the 5th of February, 2022, and I'm getting started with breakfast with some Cheerios and some blueberries, and then Remi and I are going to hit the road for a long day today and a long day tomorrow of exploring the area around us here in Gallup, New Mexico. So stay tuned. Well, we're making our way towards Four Corners. It's about 7:30 on Saturday morning. Didn't get out of the motorhome quite as early as I had hoped this morning, but well, that's the way it is sometimes. But just interesting to see kind of what the high plains or plateau part of the country looks like. And this is it. I mean, it's the outside air temperature this morning at 7:30 Mountain Time is 16 degrees, and so it's pretty chilly. But we're heading out to Four Corners to check it out. There's some really amazing geology here in northern New Mexico as I make my way to Four Corners. It's funny how we've left New Mexico into Arizona, and then we're Arizona back into New Mexico as we kind of get into the finiteness of the Four Corners region here, where we have 4 states that converge.
Take the next left onto New Mexico 597.
So we're at the Four Corners National Monument. It's changed a lot here since I was here 50 years ago with my mom and dad when we were coming to visit Karen and Mike when they lived in Greeley, Colorado. So yeah, it's changed a lot out here. Here's the plaza for Four Corners Monument. They've got little booths around here where you can buy trinkets from the indigenous peoples of the area. There's a couple of vendors out here today. But yeah, this is what the plaza looks like. As we move towards the center of the plaza, we see where the 4 states interconnect. This marker is pretty much as I remember it when I was a child. So it may very well be that this particular aspect has not changed in over 50 years. We've got the marker for the state of Arizona with its seal, the state of Utah with its state seal, as well as the state of Colorado and the state of New Mexico, both with their state seals. And as we leave the plaza area, you can see kind of the geology that's around the area. So we're headed towards the Petrified Forest, and we're kind of taking a roundabout way of getting there, but it's in theory the shortest way from the Four Corners Monument. But it's just some very pretty geology through here, very you know, kind of red sandstone, just very pretty. Almost reminds me of the Australian outback where Ayers Rock is. So there aren't many shoulders on the roadways here in Arizona, but I found a driveway that I was able to pull out at and just take a little bit of video of what I see out here. It's very pretty. This is something worth studying. So pulled over on the side of the road here because there's actually a wide spot to where I could check out all the natural beauty up here. It's very pretty. We're going to go pop the drone up here in a minute and see what we can see. But it's very pretty up here. So now we're taking a look with the drone view of the area around me here. And unfortunately, I turned the drone a little faster than I would have liked, but you get a sense as to just how beautiful this area is out here. The rock formations and the geology is just phenomenal. and it's really an area I enjoyed looking at. So we're in the Petrified Forest, and we're at Tippany Point at this point. Just kind of checking out the scenery. Very pretty. So Remi and I are on the Tawa Trail. That's T-A-W-A. And that's the visitor center that's out there to the left. And we're just looking at the painted desert area of the Petrified Forest National Park. And just really pretty. Very, very pretty. So glad that I made the time to come out here. So this is the Painted Desert Inn. It's a national landmark, and it overlooks the Painted Desert. Very pretty. Very pretty out here. Well, I'm out here at Chimney Point, just really enjoying this whole view out here. It's just really neat. The view, I mean, it's kind of like the Grand Canyon. It's not nearly as deep, it's not nearly as big, but it's just got a really cool view to it. Well, good morning. It's Sunday, the 6th of February, 2022, and we're on our way to Choco Canyon National Historical Park, and I've got about 20 miles left to go. Just turned off the state highway, and apparently I've got 20 miles to go on this dirt road. So that's going to be kind of a slow, laborious process, but you know, it is what it is, and we're gonna try and go as far as we can and hope that this works out. There's some frost on the road, but we'll just keep our speed down and try and hope that we don't have any road conditions significantly worse than this. So stay tuned. And yes, it does look like the remaining 17 miles is nothing but dirt road. Hopefully I don't get to the end of this and find a closed gate that doesn't allow me into Choco Canyon. That would be a drag, but we'll see what happens. So we're making our way on New Mexico State Highway 57 to Choco Canyon this morning, and that's what a state highway, some state highways look like, I guess. I will never complain about fuel taxes in California again. I know this is an anomaly, but it's pretty interesting for a state highway. It's very pretty out here though, very pretty. So here in the visitor center, they've got, this is a brand new visitor center, by the way. They've got a number of wonderful displays, but they are still tuning the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning to make sure that artifacts that they bring in are not compromised by humidity levels or anything like that. So they're still in the process of doing that, so they haven't filled a lot of the cases, but they're getting ready. And there's still a wonderful display of what the Choco community or nation was like back in 900s and early thousands, or part of our millennia. Very interesting. You can see the progression here of in the 800 and 950 or 850, 950 AD, 950 to 1050 AD, how the community expanded to the way it is today. Pueblo Bonito, we're going to go check that out here in a few minutes. So it may not look like much, but this is Hungo Pavi. And as you can see, here's the remains up here. And you can see that they made these walls very thick with this slate-like material. And then they've got little windows in it. And the material that they made this out of is all over this area. And it's like almost 2 feet deep. And they probably shove a bunch of stuff in there to keep the draft down. And as you can see, a lot of it's been destroyed, but there still is enough that remains that you can get a sense as to what it consisted of. It's about 22 degrees out here today, and there's a breeze. So it could have been very chilly in the past. So as we make our way around the excavation loop, you just get a sense as to what this is like out here. It's a shallow canyon, but a large area. So you'll notice coming up on the right here what appears to be a structure, and if I were to guess, I'd say that was Pueblo Bonito on the right. And the ranger told me that this is the most excavated site in the park here. So we'll be stopping in a minute to check it out. Yep, Pueblo Bonito. The geology here is just amazing. And I'm not even somebody that's typically interested in geology, but just to see how there's the difference between the dirt as well as the sandstone, I guess that is. It's here. It's just really beautiful. It's really amazing. So this is Pueblo Bonito that I'm approaching now. And as you can see, all those rocks that have come down off of there, you can also see past some of the smaller rocks on the right. You can see remnants of walls. So don't know if those rocks came down before they left the structure and that forced them out, or if they left the structure and then it came down and destroyed part of it. But it's very interesting. So here we are, the closer look at Pueblo Bonito. And as I was saying earlier, you can see some continuation of rock walls up there, and where the boulders came down on it, so obviously spelled the end of that part of the structure, if nothing else. Or maybe they started to build on it after the rocks came down. Hard to tell. But you can see where the rocks came up against and impacted the back end of the structure. Very pretty. I mean, sad, but so glad to be able to take it in nonetheless. So you can see where the exterior wall is, but then you can see this interior wall, and it subdivides it into rooms. But then the other interesting thing is you notice that there's little holes to pass from one room to the next. So maybe like this is a dining area and an interior area is a kitchen or something. It's very interesting. And you can also see that it was on a raised floor. You can see where the lumber came out to form the raised floor for the room. So here I am at Pueblo Bonito, and as you can see from this video, this area is just phenomenal to check out. I would encourage anybody that's traveling to New Mexico, if you're coming through the I-40 area between Gallup and Albuquerque, to make the trip up here to explore this. It is so worthwhile. It's definitely a day trip, but it's definitely worth dedicating a day to it. There's just so much to see, so much culture. It's interesting to see how back in the early part of our millennia, the 800s to 1000s AD, to see how people lived and how they leveraged what they had to make for what I think is a very comfortable living. So yeah, if you ever have the opportunity to come out here, please come check it out. It is so worthwhile. We're currently at the Milan Grant Airport, which is between Albuquerque and Gallup, New Mexico, right just south of the US I-40, Interstate 40. So back in the early days of aviation, they created these navigation locations that would serve as beacons and relay points for pilots flying airmail from coast to coast. This particular beacon was used in the Los Angeles to Amarillo section of the Mid-Continental Airway for doing mail transportation. And so there would be this beacon, which would be powered by a generator at this station. And when the aircraft reached this location, they would see this arrow pointing the direction towards the next beacon on the relay. Very interesting. I'm driving back from the Milan airport towards Gallup, New Mexico, and it's just amazing how beautiful the geology is through here. It's kind of hard to see because of the billboards, but you can at least get a sense as to just the red rock formations that are undulating up out of the ground, or what's left after the water and glaciers dissipated from here over the years.